Five Nights at Cobson's is an absolutely spine-chilling, genre-defining, bone-tingling, airy and slow-burn, terrifying jump-scare, jack-driven, atmosphere-oozing, A24-released, trope-subverting, dark and eerie, gut-wrenching, aesthetically heavy craft, gradual escalation, soul-shaking, dread-inducing, post-horror suspenseful build-up, a say more with less approach, blood-curdling keyed, nerve-wracking, nail-biting, jaw-clenching, free of cheap gore, coos, soot, doll, and fruit-approved, Snopes verified, Reuters verified, Zelig-free, cold-killing, Cobson-loving, Fauci-approved, pro-science, truth-uncovering, Janny-decimating, glowy-zapping, VTuber-chutting, schizophrenic, fork-cuck-killing, shitter-crashing, discola-racing, coin-slot-closing, not a Soyjak-free, anti-med, soylent-free, wholesome pupperino, west-rising, heavenly, holy, shardy, saving, is a Soyjak general horror game. At least that's what it says on Steam. Also, you can download it for free with the link in the description. But the game itself is a twist on the classic Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay, brought to you by the Soydevelopers of the Soyjak image board, Soyjak Party. As such, the animatronics you may be familiar with have been replaced with Soyjaks. You play as the night guard, Dr. Sawyer, at the underground Soysylum mental facility. This mental facility has a free roam policy, which means that the patients will be walking around, and they will find their way into your room. And if you don't know how to handle them as they come, it'll spell game over for you. To defend yourself, you have only your lights, your security monitors, and your doors. Also, Squirreljak is there to keep you company. But because of the Soysylum's faulty coal generator, your power is going to have to be rationed until the night ends at 6 a.m. At the Soysylum, you'll meet the following patients: Chud, Feraljak, Goonella, Impjak, Plier, Fingerboy, and of course, Cobson. All of these jacks have different behaviors and varying degrees of lethality. The first jacks you'll meet are the ones that are always going to be right next to you: Squirreljak and Feraljak. Feraljak is the one sleeping in the cage, and Squirreljak is your little buddy there. Feral always starts the night asleep, but will gradually wake up as you do things that make noise, such as closing and opening doors, turning the lights on and off, or looking at your monitor. So long as he stays behind the bars, he is harmless whether he's sleeping or awake. You can reset his sleep once per night by giving him his iPad if you catch him just before he wakes up. Squirreljak always starts the night off with a bowl full of nuts, but quickly goes through them. He can eat an entire bowl of nuts in under 30 seconds, so it's very important to remember to keep Squirreljak fed at all times. If Squirreljak goes hungry for too long, he'll start eating at Feraljak's cell bars and let him escape. If Feral's awake and Squirreljak eats his bars, he'll instantly attack you and it's game over right there. Impjak is a quick little guy who can sneak up on you and get you if you're not careful. He becomes active very quickly and is among the most aggressive of the jacks. He spawns on the left of the map on Cam 1A. From there, he can take two routes. First, through the vents on the right side of the map, being Cam 8B and Cam 9, which will then exit into the janitor closet on Cam 7, then go down to the doorway and in your room. The other route is through the West Wing hallway, Cam 1B, then to the cafeteria, Cam 5, and from there into the vent on the left side of the map, Cam 11, and then into the vent into your room. When he's ready to attack, you'll hear a buzzing sound, or you'll see the lights flicker on and off. He's the most easily dispatched. All you need to do is flash your light at him just once, and he'll get scared off and run. It's very important to constantly check for him, as he moves around very fast. The Chud is a hateful extremist and another aggressive jack. He can be seen coming far down the hallway before he enters. So if you see him coming, be prepared to turn off your light, because if he's in your room with the lights on, it's game over. When he comes into your room, you'll hear his specific footstep, along with a buzzing sound. When Chud is in your room, the only thing you can't do is use your lights. Feeding Squirreljak, opening and closing the doors are still fine. It's recommended to close the door behind him and keep an eye on the vent, because this stops other jacks from wandering in. Note that the door being closed won't stop Chud from entering your office, as he'll just open it. And if the door is closed behind him when he's in your room, he'll open it when he leaves, giving you a sure sign of when it's okay to use your lights again. Chud spawns in the West Wing on Cam 1A, and then he'll head straight for the hallway. Once he's in the hallway, he'll peek through the janitor's closet, proceed through the doorway, and then finally into your room. The next Jack is Goonella. Goonella is actually completely harmless and cannot kill you, but is rather a danger to zerself. If you allow them in your room for too long, they will hang themselves from your ceiling, obscuring your view of the hallway for the rest of the night. The night can still be completed like this, but it's much more difficult because you won't be able to see which Jacks are coming toward you. They can be easily dealt with by just flashing them with your flashlight 3 times. They spawn in the entrance lobby on cam 3B, then make their way to the infirmary on cam Thembo. Then from there, they'll go into the hallway, and then the janitor's closet, and finally into your room. My next Jack can ruin your night if you're not careful. Plier. Plier is a soy tuber who found his way into the facility to interview the patients. He can't directly harm you, but what he will do is cut the power in the generator room, leaving you defenseless for a short period of time. If he cuts your power, it's not necessarily so over. If you can get lucky enough to not get attacked in the period that you're defenseless, you can survive. The only way to avoid getting your power cut is to keep an eye on the generator room when you don't know where he is. You can remotely close the door to stop him, but keep in mind this will accelerate your energy loss. He spawns in the entrance lobby on cam 3B, and then begins wandering around the facility randomly. You can see him down your hallway if he's there, which is a good indicator that he's not in the generator room. Next is perhaps the most dangerous Jack of all, Fingerboy. Fingerboy lets out a screech and gives you just a second to react before he runs into your room and kills you. He can come from the vent on your left and give you a thudding sound as a warning, or he can come down your hallway and wait for you to flash your light on him before he starts charging. Fingerboy will only come at you from the hallway once you've already shined your light on him, so keep your pointer on the door button so you can lock him out. He spawns on the audio-only cam of cam 4, and then from there he'll leave through a vent. Then he'll come by cam 10, and from there he can either go through the hallway and attack you from the front, or continue to cam 11 and get you from the side. Our last patient is the gem himself, Cobson. Cobson's only around night 3 and on, but before that you'll be able to see him in his cell. He'll start there and then move into the entrance room on cam 3B, and then into the infirmary on cam Thembo, then finally to the hallway. When he's in the hallway, he'll remain there and slowly approach you bit by bit. It's necessary to listen to Cobson's unique audio cues. He'll make one set of footsteps when he walks in front of your door, and then another when he enters. If he enters your room while the lights are on, or you flash him with your flashlight, he'll kill you and it's game over. Closing the door on him will only temporarily lock him out, as he'll start pounding on it until you run out of power. This will also cause Squirreljak to start nibbling on Feraljak's bars, giving you even less time. The only way to get rid of him is to let him walk around in your room, then leave. When Cobson is walking around in your room, you have to be completely motionless to avoid death. That means no lights, doors, vents, or Squirreljaks. You'll know he's gone when you hear his footsteps as he leaves. Cobson isn't too hard to deal with, but he can leave you vulnerable to other Jacks. Before you let Cobson in, make sure you've fed Squirreljak, close your vents, and check the generator room for Plier. Only when all these have been secured can you let him in. Once you learn the behaviors of all the Jacks, it's really just a matter of juggling them and hoping you don't get caught in a situation with your hands tied. On the harder nights, you'll want to be sitting in the dark most of the time to conserve power, so you'll really just be relying on audio cues. Overall, Five Nights at Cobson's is a pretty fun twist on the Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay, and it can offer quite a challenge, especially during the later nights. The game still seems to be full of hidden Easter eggs, lore, and minigames that the community hasn't fully dissected yet. This game is available as a free download, so if you'd like to give it a try, go right ahead. I hope this guide has helped you, and I hope you enjoy your delve into the world of Five Nights at Cobson's.